For each of you that during the conference that we learn and that we build on the momentum of our mission-driven organizations to address some of our biggest concerns. During the pandemic, we saw that the isolation was as harmful as the coronavirus itself. And with grace under fire, we all embraced technology and tried our best to keep residents connected with both families and friends. Now, we can build on that momentum and learn even better strategies and practices for helping residents engage in meaningful connections. During the pandemic, we, along with our teams, filled in for the family that our residents were missing. We all saw the importance of caring, engaging staff, and I think we even have a deepened appreciation for our staff during this time. With our conference sessions, we'll learn and strategize on how to support our teams even more so that those who work in this field as a calling will stay with us. We also learn and strategize on how to bring more people to serve elders in our communities. We must address the workforce shortage, and together we can move this dial. You know, oftentimes I quote this: people really do not care how much we know until they know how much we care. And I'll credit our CEO who's sitting in the audience here today, who said the other day, you know, it's just time for us as an industry just to kind of dust things off and let people know that we are here and we're able to serve, we're ready to help. I truly believe that we can have great momentum to build on how we improve the lives of older adults and the quality of life for our teams. Two of the things that I love most about LeadingAge is that we are all mission-driven and that together we serve the continuum of care for older adults. I hope each of you come away from the conference feeling fortified and having a few solutions for your community or organization. So now at this time, I'd like to turn the podium to Jenny Helms, our president of LeadingAge.
It is so good to see LeadingAge members together. It is so cool. Last night, several of us had dinner together and a few then over at the bar across the street sitting outside. And I think what we all saw was it's time to be back together. And it was socializing, but it was also sharing things that people have gone through and a few solutions. And then today we're making new connections with new people that are here. I encourage all of you all to get to know each other, particularly the new people, embrace them. I can remember the first time I came to a LeadingAge event and I was like, holy cow, I don't know anybody here. So imagine there's some of you that might feel that way. But the cool thing is that LeadingAge is our community, and I think that you will feel that before you leave to go home if you're new today. I have the honor of saying thank you to those who helped make our conference possible. And we truly want to thank these sponsors, and I really want to encourage each of you to do business with them when you're looking for new business partners. So our Premier Peach sponsors are Geico Healthcare, and I think Brad Lofton and Jim Waite might be here, back there. Thank you so much. And Optum, Jill Sereni, is Jill here yet? Oh, Jill. Thank you, Jill. And our y'all, do we want to say it pecan or pecan? We're in the South, so we get to say pecan. And that's where they grow, right? So our Grand Pecan sponsors are Legacy Healthcare and Wendy Canuck. Are you here? Nope. And H.J. Sims, Tom Bowden, and Anthony Luzzi. Are you here yet? They'll be here. And our amazing Azalea sponsors, DHG, Keith Seeloff, and James Larson. Forefront Healthcare, Dan Bowen and Kevin Bray. And THW Design, Jim Hudgens is here. He's in the house. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a sponsor. We also have a good number of really wonderful exhibitors here supporting our event, and I hope that you all will spend quality time with them. We're going to have lunch with them tomorrow, so you will get to spend some time with them. And the other entity that I want to thank for being here and being part of our conference is Heroes in Long-Term Care. You all will learn more about Peter Murphy Lewis later and this wonderful initiative called It's a podcast where heroes in long-term care get to tell their story in a gentle interview with Peter. And this event is being sponsored by AG Rhodes and Deke Cato. I don't know if Kim Beasley is here yet. Kim, are you here? Yay, hey. And Kim will be coordinating that. And Mary Hilton is here also from AG Rhodes. And so we're really thankful to you all for making this happen. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a big piece of the puzzle in helping to reframe the way the public thinks about long-term care. You know, the media just wants to bash. Well, there's another side to it. There are a lot of hearts providing great care, and we need people to know that side of the story. And so we're going to be part of that initiative. It's an exciting thing. Scott will tell you more about it in a few minutes, but we want to say thank you for being here for this. I want to say thank you to our professional development committee. They did a lot of work working with Scott and us on planning this event. And the committee members you all know and love are Julie Parker, Laura Rice, Suzanne Brown, she's here, Leanna Cisco, Tia Copeland is here, Karen Winston, of course, she's here, and George Tucker, he's here, and then Walter Constantine. And I want to say that we have an incredible board in the LeadingAge Georgia board and in our Georgia Institute on Aging board. And, you know, going through COVID, you got to have people with great minds and great hearts to steer an organization in order to stay strong. And we have that. We have that. And I hope you'll take a minute and say thank you to them as you see them. But our board members that are here and have been such great guides are Gwen Hardy, our chair, and Chris Keyser is here. He's our past chair. Dorothy Davis, I haven't seen her yet, but she'll be here. And Debbie McNeil, our board secretary, is right up front here. And Mark Todd on our board, as well as Don Dunbar and Karen Winston was out at the desk, along with Maria Manahan and Pam Kaufman in the back of the room. Thank you. And the Georgia Institute on Aging board members, you guys have been great in the planning of this conference and guidance on the high level, and that includes Julie Parker, our chair, Beth Casey in the back there, our chair-elect, Mary Helton, our secretary over here, James Larson, George Tucker, Suzanne Brown, and Tim Knight. Thank you. You guys are awesome. And then LeadingAge Georgia Board and the Georgia Institute Board and I would like to thank Susan Watkins and Scott Bassett for their great work on planning this conference. I want to tell you, Scott has been nothing short of a rock star. We came and selected this location together and checked out the city, checked out others, and he's like, I want that hotel. I'm like, yeah. And everything that he's done on planning this has just been beautiful. So thank you. I also want to say a quick thank you to Derek Machado. I'm not sure if he came in yet, but he and his team at 519 does our amazing website, and you all need to get to meet him. And they also did all of the artwork for these great signs that we have. So that was a lot of thank yous, but that's what it takes to put on a great conference. And this is for you all, so I hope you enjoy it. And now I want to turn it over to Julie Parker, and she's our chair of the Georgia Institute on Aging.
Now, I'm going to tell you a secret, y'all. When you get a call from Jenny Helms and you see her name on your caller ID, you may take a breath before you answer, but please answer, because she's going to ask you to serve, and that's why we're here. We do serve, so we're pretty good at it. But I will tell you, when you answer the call to be on the board or to be on a committee, she will guide you and hold your hand and make it very easy. So thank you, Jenny. She does a lot of work behind the scenes that a lot of us don't know about until you get here. So as a reminder, the GIA board is the educational arm, and it is our mission to provide you and your team with exceptional educational opportunities. As we all know, over the last 2 years, we've been challenged in many ways, and education probably took a back seat to the priorities at hand. Zoom was a fabulous platform. We all learned how to use it, but frankly, I think we're about zoomed out. And I can tell by your attendance in person, you all agree, so thank you for that. But I want to tell you that connection is who we are to the core, And when we're very good at connecting in our communities and other people of our everyday lives, but I encourage you to connect with one another, because I'll tell you about a story, and it was probably about 4 years ago. I met this wonderful person I'd never known. It was at a conference, and it's been 4 years, and we call and talk to each other, and we share stories, and we probably cry a little bit and things like that. But that's Suzanne Brown, and she's a very good friend of mine. So I connected with her at the conference. So again, we are like-minded people, so it just makes sense to connect with people here. So it is also time to tap back into our educational opportunities that are offered through LeadingAge. Please involve your team members. Ask them what they need, and keep in mind how important education is to them. They may be very new to your organization. They may feel a little lost and alone, but the educational opportunities that we provide on different levels and different platforms are excellent retention tools. So keep that in mind. Everybody wants to be recognized as a leader in their community, but we all start at a certain level and we continue to grow, and that's thanks to many of you in this room. I know we're all looking forward to hearing from our speakers over the next 2 days. Coming out of COVID and now faced with the ever-changing landscape of staffing challenges, we continue to feel uncomfortable and uneasy about the future. But I can assure you that during uncomfortable times, we are stretched to reinvent ourselves. Don't be afraid to try new things. If it doesn't work, so what? You move on to something else, but involve the people that you work with, because great minds together can come up with really great solutions. Because of our resilience, commitment, and advocacy for those we serve, we must continue to be the beacon of hope, to have the do whatever is necessary attitude, continue to work together, and know that all things are possible if you just believe. So I thank you. I'm going to turn it over to the one and only Scott Bassett, who is beyond compare. Scott, this is a great conference so far, and we thank you for all your efforts.
So I'm going to give you a quick overview, kind of how the week's going to look real fast, and then we're going to turn it over to Brad and our keynote speaker. Now, the really fun thing, it's a matter of, well, let me ask this question. For those that are arrived here at the hotel, stayed the night, or just got here in the morning, how many people enjoy the hotel and would like to come back? Okay, so what if I told you you'd come back for a free night? Well, only a few hands? Okay, well then, okay, yeah, that's what I thought then. All right, so we're going to have a photo contest. All right, so throughout the conference, you take photos, okay? You can email it to me, sbassett@leadingagega.org. You can tag it on our Facebook page or on our LinkedIn page, any of the above, okay? And we're going to, staff-wise and everything, we're going to select a winning photo and who that comes from. And then that person will win a free night stay here at the Westin with breakfast for 2 for the next morning. Okay, so that is throughout. We'll announce that winner at the closing keynote session. So make sure you do that as well. Again, I said tagging on the social media and so forth in that aspect. This morning, or this afternoon, I should say, not this morning, we'll have a great speaker with Kathy Perry, whom you'll meet in just a moment. She'll give a live interview at the end with Peter Murphy-Lewis for the kickoff of our Heroes in Long-Term Care podcast. So you'll kind of get an idea of how that's going to look. Peter has an extensive background in broadcasting, has a passion for long-term care. He's been conducting these podcast interviews with the public and everything for a long period of time. So Peter will be conducting interviews throughout the conference. So I think someone already mentioned it before, but see Kim Beasley if you're interested in signing up for one. She's got a few slots left. I know a couple of them have already filled, but she's got some left. We'll have the breakout sessions also. You'll see a 15-minute break between each one. And then we'll come back tonight at 5 o'clock on the 10th floor. There's a location called Panoma. It's an indoor-outdoor space that's overlooking the city and all that bit. And we'll have our opening reception there from 5 to 6:30. Tomorrow, everything starts at 8:30. We'll have just like a light breakfast, muffins, fruit, that type of thing for you available as well. Exhibit And I encourage everyone to come in here from 11 to 1. Exhibit will be in this room and out in the hallway. Lunch will be as a part of the exhibit as well. So we'll have lunch in here and out in the hallway as well. And then on Wednesday morning, I encourage you to come, as we've already mentioned, to join us for the town hall meeting. We'll have breakfast there. Tom Bauer will also be there, along with Robin Stone. And then we'll have our closing keynote with Bruce Berlin, who will be here to offer that. And then we'll also have lunch for you at the closing keynote as well. So again, thank you so much for being here. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Brad Lofton with Geico Healthcare, one of our premier sponsors, and let him introduce Kathy Perry.
Scott, thank you so much for letting us partner this year. We're blessed with Geico. We service about 8 states, and we get to be involved in a lot of senior living communities and associations around the Southeast. None of them are as good as LeadingAge Georgia, and the great job you all do and the advocate you are for the long-term care community. So it's a pleasure and honor for us to be a part of that. So Scott, thank you guys. Let me share with you the bio of our awesome speaker today, if you will. We start by asking the question, do you wish you knew how to build up your team in this post-pandemic environment? Could you use creative ideas to encourage engagement and productivity? Are you ready for tips to better understand mental health and reduce burnout? I think we all are. If you answered yes to any of these questions, then Miss Kathy Perry is ready to help you build resilience for you and your team. Get ready for a lively look at how resilient behaviors can be learned even before the disruption happens or applied after the crisis. Kathy will be unpacking useful tools that you can use to build up your team. She holds degrees in business and food management from Miami University and a certification in plant-based nutrition, as well as a coaching certification. She's the creator of Power Up and Perform course and holds the designation of professional speaker for the National Speakers Association. Ms. Perry has authored 4 books and lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the home of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's right.
The greatest player in the history of Pittsburgh was Hines Ward from
Georgia.
Yes. Miss Kathy enjoys a mild dark chocolate addiction and cooking for hungry friends. I did find it a little ironic that they asked the fattest guy in the room to introduce a fitness and nutrition expert. But with that said, would everybody please join me in giving an energetic welcome to our speaker, trainer, and author, Miss Kathy Perry.